This is the WZ-132-1, a Tier 10 Chinese light tank. It's one of the smallest light tanks right next to the T100LT, and this is an American Tier 9 heavy, the TL7-120. I want you to realize just how small this heavy is when its hull is literally smaller than a WZ-132-1. This vehicle is tiny, and when the tank first came out, I really didn't think all too much about it, but after a bit of its release, and now that it's been out for a couple months, I've actually been enjoying this tank quite a bit. The TL7 is just such a small heavy, it's quite surprisingly fun to drive. It's very easy to hide around corners or not really get yourself stuck into a poor position because of how small its nature is. But you do have a couple problems with this tank. First of all, it only reverses at 10. That means that this is the worst reverse speed that any Tier 9 or 10 heavy carries, right next to the T110E4 and T110E3. I still do not understand why Wargaming gave it such poor reverse speed. It also has a massive hongler-bongler on the roof in the form of a hatch, and it's very easy to penetrate. Honestly, if this vehicle didn't have the hatch, it would be a top 5 Tier 9 heavies. Unfortunately, it does, so it falls a little bit behind. But it does still feature very solid damage per minute, great accuracy, and a really solid gun when it comes to penetration, so let's see what it can do. Here we are in our first battle. Up against us, we have an Object 84, Waffenträger Panzer IV, AMX 5100. I mean, this is actually a really solid lineup. The fact that we are only up against 2 Tier 9s, that is nice. The bad news is that our other Tier 9 is a stock VZ51. So I guess we got some good news and then some bad news. But again, this thing is just so dang small. It's always a fun little tank to drive. Now you'll notice the power to weight on this vehicle, while not incredible, is pretty good. It'll achieve a top speed of around 36 kilometers per hour, something around that, which isn't too bad. Also, because it's an American tank, it features decent gun depression at 7 degrees, although if you want my opinion, it should be sitting more at like 8 or even 9 degrees over the front, because it could very easily work with it. So let's see what we can do. We've got the Semovente off to the side. Base B is being captured, oddly enough. And for now, we're just going to chill right here. Alright, well, Object 84 is still chilling right there. Not much we can really do. I'm just going to wait. Problem is, they do have that Waffenträger, and the WT is a nasty tank destroyer. I don't want to put myself in a position where I can get bled. We do see the Luva, we see the 122TM, but still no waffles, so we're just going to wait here for now. We have gotten a nice shell into the Object 84, though, which is pretty good. And, oh, we got the Semovente, which has such ridiculous armor. It's actually crazy how much it does have. Right now, our team's kind of getting beamed on, I'm going to be honest. But let's see if we can get a shell, or not. Or just a miss on the enemy AMX, and we got hatched. Well, you can see some of the downsides this vehicle does feature. That hatch is really the main downside. It's rather irritating when it doesn't work, but we're going to see if we can get a shell maybe into the AMX. This gun, it's trolling me right now. The good news is that their team has expelled a lot of their resources to a tank that is essentially a waste of time. And there you go, a nice 75 damage high explosive shell into the enemy AMX 5100. So at this point, we've done some pretty decent chunking. Alright, well, we got the WZ-122TM, who we were also able to get a nice slap right into the roof on. Just like that, we've been able to deal 1,400 damage. Okay, not too bad. Unfortunately, it looks like our VZ is going to fall apart. So, I think the best decision I can make right now is to help my team out with the IS-5. I'm going to get one shell in, just like that. And let's reload. We're up to 1,700 damage, and this is where that good DPM on the TL7 is actually going to come into play. You can see, again, just look at how small this thing is. I mean, I look like half the size of an IS-5. It's actually really funny. Unfortunately, again, you can see that that hatch just... It's an instant hit for anybody that knows where to aim. But the good news is that we easily out-damage per minute this IS-5. So at this point, I'm just going to back on up. He's going to even on my hull. He does get one nice pen, but doesn't change the state of what's going on. We get a nice slapperoonie right back in. Alright, well, we got the waffle off to the side, and my poor reverse is not going to help me all too much here. But I think we're doing okay. As long as I can keep that waffle off and my team to keep bleeding out that Semovente, we should be fine. So let's see. We're going to push over here. Now you will also notice the traverse speed on this tank is quite lackluster. But we got a full health T-44-100, which, albeit is not a great tank, but is still a full health vehicle on our team, so that's rather good. So let's see if we can help out with the waffle. Not sure where this player went, to be completely honest. There he is. Alright, well, let's see what we can do. Let's get one nice... Oh, that was a bad shot. But the good news is that we are in a turreted tank, and that waffle, well, it's decently mobile, but it's not mobile enough, as you can see, to, like, outmaneuver me. Although... well, that's not good. The T-44-100 just got absolutely nuked, which is... oh, yes! Alrighty, then. Well, that's gonna change the outcome of this game by quite a bit. Let's go for another shell into the enemy waffle, and just like that, we are still alive. This waffle's gonna try and bonk us. I'm just gonna run into a face-hugging position. He shoots me in the upper plate, and here's a fun fact about this tank. Its upper plate is actually incredibly strong. People don't know this, but its upper plate is about 320 thick with enhanced armor. It's insane. People don't realize that. And when they try to actually shoot this vehicle, they just bounce the upper plate. The hatch is really the only spot you're going to pen it. The upper plate, don't go for it. And the turret, it's actually pretty decent as long as you don't get hit in that hatch. So let's see if we can get a clear into the enemy WZ-122TM, and just like that, we came out with a victory for our first battle. We did 3,705 damage, and not too bad of a result. So you can see why I actually think this is quite an enjoyable tank. We blocked 3,000 damage this game. I mean, that's a lot. Not only that, but we pulled out a first class. So pretty dang solid. And as you can see, statistically, I've been doing well in the tank with a 77% win rate and 2,950 damage. So let's do one more game and see if we can do as well. Oh, we're already in that game. This time, we're up against Tier 8s once again. Alright, I'll take that. Fighting Tier 8s is always a very welcome thing, especially in a Tier 9 heavy like this that features a lot of DPM. So, we have a 53 TP, AMX 5100, and an IS-3. But they also have some incredibly nasty Tier 9s, like the Skoda T50, T92E1, and a T30. Plus, they got a G-SOAR. I mean, they have a very strong lineup. We have strong Tier 9s too, to be fair, but... yeah, we'll see. We do have a T-28, so interesting. Either way, we're going to make our way to the front line. Again, though, look at how small this thing is. It's so funny. I mean, that 50 TP is literally like 30-40% larger than us. It's just so weird to drive it this as a heavy and for it to be so small, yet have such good upper plate armor. So, let's make our way into the front line. We got the T-92, who managed to get a shell into our prog, and in return only bled 250 health. That's actually rather irritating. Like, not rather irritating, that's really irritating. Now we got a nice shell into the enemy Skoda. Not exactly sure why that player poked me, to be real, but that's fine with me. Let's reload, and let's aim at another shell, and a bonk. Just like that, you can see the good accuracy on this vehicle, and nice alpha, being able to cut through that enemy Skoda. Alright, well, let's push up here. We got the IS-3, and... okay. That's rather cringe. You could very easily see that that should have penned, but it didn't. We got the AMX off to my side, but again, because I'm such a small heavy, this AMX actually can't see me. And then we get a nice pen into his vehicle for 394. So we're actually doing pretty good here. We've been able to get some bleeds out. We got 3 more seconds left on our reload, and a bonk. There you go. Another nice bounce on our upper plate. And to be honest, I'm not really sure why that AMX even thought it could trade with me there, because it really couldn't. Alright, well, one of the downsides of being small is the fact that trying to get shots into the enemy is a little tricky in this position, but T-30 can't hit me anymore, which is perfect, and the IS-3 is pushing off to the side. Let's finish off the 53 TP and the T-30 shot, not the IS-3. But with the T-30 shooting, that means we can just push over here and get a pretty easy bonking into this IS. There you go. Nice 430 damage shot. Let's make sure we are out of the view of that T-30, and let's go for... actually, I don't even care if he shoots me, to be real. Let's go for another shot, and a bonk. There you go. Nice slap. And just like that, all that's left is the enemy T-30. So let's see if we can push on him and get some free damage. Already we're up to 3,000 damage dealt, though. I mean, you can see, again, this tank is just so dang nice. The DPM, the alpha, everything is just... it's really good for a Tier 9. So let's cut off to the side. Unfortunately, that T-30 would rather just die to everybody on our team. But, oh well, I can't really complain. 2 very solid games and a pretty good review. So this is the TL-7120. It's not a tank that I would ever suggest to buy. I mean, it's really not that special. An M103 or a Object 752. Heck, a lot of the Tier 9s can do a better job than this tank. But it's a small little package of fun, and because of that, I wanted to make a video on it. So, there you go, ladies and gents. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.